All right, hi everybody. This is another beautiful day in February. I'm lucky enough that I have my beautiful wife and my happiest helper dog of all time out here with me. We're gonna set up a new beaver property here, and we're gonna go get some traps set in. So stay tuned. All right, so this is a little side channel. There's a bigger pond down there where I think we're gonna have more beaver sign. But there's some fresh chewing back here. There's some chewing on the bottom side of that log over there. So I'm actually just gonna put a caster mount set in right here. And the nice thing about that is he's gonna have to come under this log. And if the beaver comes under this log to get up in here, he's gonna get caught. The other nice thing about this spot is the owner told me that no one has trapped this in the 4 years he owns it. So my guess is that if these beavers smell like new caster in here, it's gonna be a done deal. So we'll go ahead and get this set made. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so there you go. That's the caster mount set. 330 in front, triggers underneath, caster mount behind. One thing when you're setting these is to be real careful, because you really don't want this ice to break off and go slamming through your triggers. So hopefully that's not what happens here, but yeah, we'll get on to the next one. Okay, so what we got here is a pond crossover. And right on that side I've got my 330 set in the slide. But coming down through here, there's a chewed stick here, there's a chewed stick there. There's this trail that comes out, and there's this trail that comes out, and there's actually another trail that goes right behind this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a foothold here on a drowner cable and a caster mount right behind it. So I'll show you what that looks like when I'm all set. That crossover set I was telling you about, we got 3 trails that kind of all come right here. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that I got a really solid trap bed, because I don't want this to wobble at all when he goes and sticks his foot down. So all I'm doing is I made a flat spot where I want him to stick his foot, and that's where I'm going to bed my trap.
Griff, heel. Sit.
This is a No BS Lures Beaver Extreme. It's a dogless trap, which I tend to prefer because they tend to be a little easier to set. You're not messing around with a dog in a pan. There we go. Okay. Now that's latched and set. So on the bottom here, you've got a swivel. You've got a swivel at the bottom of the trap. That's really important to prevent twist-offs. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our quick connect, which is attached to our one-way slide. Make sure this one-way slide is where it's supposed to be. It needs to be able to go down easy and not come back up. So it's gonna go at the top of the trap to start. Take that quick connect and go through the hole on the bottom of the swivel. I don't know if you can see that or not. But we're gonna go through the hole on the bottom of the swivel. What that's gonna do is, when this is tightened down and that beaver is pulling against that, that swivel can still rotate on the chain. It's not gonna stop him from rotating. So this is gonna go to the top of our trap. Okay, you always want an animal to kind of come over the jaws, right, and step like that. So this trap is gonna go offset and it's gonna go right about here. And the way I'm figuring that is that a beaver's about that long, and he's gonna stick his back foot in this. That's the catch I want. I don't want to catch a beaver in a front foot on this, because he'll be able to climb up onto the bank somewhere and he won't drown. So you want to make sure that your slide can slide freely So that needs to go whichever way you're gonna set this. I think because I'm gonna set it here, this should actually go on this side of my head. Over there. And out into at least knee-deep water. So we're gonna have this offset like that. And then on the corners of the jaws, to get this really set in place so there's no wobble, we're just gonna push and do a couple of small quarter turns. And the way you can tell if it's gonna move or not when he sticks his foot in it is just put a little weight on it. And if you feel it shift, you need to bed it a little bit more. We're gonna take this loop. We want this loop to be big enough to fit over one of those survey stakes. I should about do it. Can you give me a survey stake here? I'm gonna go in there. We're gonna cinch that down. You're gonna drive this as far down into the mud as you can, but make sure that that swivel stays free, because that's what's gonna drown him. Now my slide is free, my trap is bedded, so the last step is to take this out into knee-deep water, or so, and we're going to stake it out deep as well. Slide our survey stake, tighten on our chain, and drive him again as deep in there as we can get it. So now, beaver's going to smell the caster. He's going to come sliding up this way. He hits that trap, he runs for water. The trap is heavy enough, it's going to drag him down, help keep his head under the water. Hopefully we have a dead beaver here on Sunday. Alright, so what we've got here is a tree that's been chewed on a lot by beaver. And so we're going to put, I think we're probably going to put 2 footholds on this. And my wife just asked a really good question. She said, how do you get him to go right where you want him to go? And the answer is build him a little fence. So what I'm going to do, I probably want this way a little more, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this log, and I'm going to use some of this stuff over here. And the way I'm going to get him to come up into this little dealio is I'm going to put a caster mountain right here, kind of right in the middle of these 2 sticks. So if he wants to come and get that, he's going to have to swim up through here to get to it. Well, thanks for coming along on another adventure. We hope you enjoyed it. And I'm lucky, as always, to have my beautiful wife with me. And until next time, tight lines, tight chains, shoot straight.